Hi everyone, it's YC. Welcome back to YC Cooks and Bakes. Just getting some coffee. It is a cold day here in South Carolina. So I thought I would make a beef stew today and take you along. So grab your beautiful hot cup of coffee or your hot tea and come along for the ride. Okay, I will let you know all the spices that I am going to be using in this beef stew today. And the first one is 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. Okay, and then 1.5 teaspoons of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and 1/2 teaspoon of oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of thyme, 1/2 teaspoon of rosemary, 1/2 teaspoon of basil, and 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And I will have all of that in the description for you. And I've already measured them out so that I can just pour them on the meat when I'm ready. And I am thawing some stew beef right now. And I have to still get the potatoes, carrots, and onions ready. And I'm going to be using a crock pot today. I'll show you which one I'm using. This one right here. That's the kind of crock pot that I am going to be using today. It's a slow cooker. So I will get my vegetables and we will get started. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is peel my potatoes while I'm waiting on my little stew meat to thaw. There, and I'm going to do a few more because, I have to feed a family. Okay, I have the potatoes that I want peeled and washed. I just have to cut them how I want. But before I throw these peelings out, I'm going to peel some carrots. And I just want to tell you something while I'm doing this. You ever go into the supermarket and you see small baby carrots, Peter Rabbit carrots, baby carrots, whatever they are. So you say, wow, those are peeled, they're clean, they're already cut. I'll just get those, make it easy. That's what I was thinking all this time. Until a couple weeks back when, out of desperation for a lower price, I bought the long carrots, and specifically Nature's Promise. And these have so much more flavor. You know why the little baby ones, they put them in dip? So that they taste like something. These are abundant in flavor. My husband and I were shocked at how flavorful these are compared to those little tiny carrots that you buy that are already prepared. We didn't realize it all this time. We're thinking, oh, let's just get those. It makes it easier. They're cut, peeled. No, take the time, get these, peel them and cut them yourself. Do a taste comparison. You will be shocked at how flavorful these are. And no doubt still have many more of the vitamins that the other carrots probably lost just simply from being peeled and processed ahead of time. And we never gave it a thought until just because of price, I decided to buy these long ones again. And we were just absolutely blown away. But anyway, I wanted to let you know that. I'll keep peeling some carrots. Okay, the other thing we want to put is some onion, and you want to leave it like in big chunks and then just separate it, like that. You don't have to dice it or mince it, anything like that when you're doing a big stew, because you don't want it to cook into nothing, into just flavor. You actually want to have some pieces of it with your food. Okay, so I have about 1.5. I'll just go ahead and cut this up too. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and cut the carrots. Just cut them however you like them. You might like them in long pieces. We're just going to have ours cut like this. Sorry if that is loud on your ears. You might have to turn your volume down. There we go. And I have 3 more that I am doing. Okay, I'll show you how I'm doing my potatoes. Nice large potato. I'm just going to cut it in half this way. In half one more time. And then I'm going to have big chunks like this. So it's going to look, like this. Okay, and I have 3 more potatoes that I'm going to be doing. Don't you hate when you pay for food and when you cut it, it has stuff that's bad on the inside? We pay so much money for our food, and then you have to throw out some of it. It gets very frustrating. Okay, now before the meat is thawed now while I was processing my veggies. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut it. I'm just going to use some kitchen scissors is how I usually do it. Because you don't want a chunk of fat on your meat, when you're chewing it. And when you get a piece, a bite of your stew or a spoon of your stew, you really don't want, let me give you a good example here. A big chunk like that in your spoon, you want to make sure everything is separated and cut, like look at this piece. And this isn't frozen together. This is one piece. I don't take a bite that big, do you? I mean, so you have to go through it and you got to cut, the stew meat into bite-sized pieces. And what I have here is 1.10 pounds. And I will cut this into small pieces. Okay, I have it all cut up, and I think you'll agree that these pieces look a lot smaller, So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and put in all those spices that we talked about. Okay, and I'm going to put in about a 1/3 cup of flour. It's a scant one. Depends on how much. If you use more meat, you might need a 1/2 cup. You put in less, you might need 1/4 cup. And I will go get something to stir this with. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat this meat in this flour and spices. And then I'm going to put it in the slow cooker. I'm going to kind of like brown the meats. I'm going to sear it first in a frying pan on the stove. And what this flour is going to do is it'll thicken the stew. So. And all you'll have to add is, you can add stock or bouillon or broth. Some people have even made stew with beer, like a stout or a lager works well. It depends on what kind of liquid you have on hand. You can use a little bit of wine if you want. But here you go, there it is. And I will meet you at the stove. Okay, we're at the stove, and I'm heating up my pan that we're going to sear the, just want to make sure you can see, to sear the meat in. A little bit of EVOO. And you know, the more fluid the oil gets, that's when your pan is ready. Let's see. It's got to heat up just a smidgen more. And if you find that there's a lot of seasoning and turbidity in the bottom of the pan when you're done, you can put your stock in here first and stir it around really good to lift up all that good flavor, and then pour it on top of your meat in the crock pot or slow cooker, and then put your vegetables on top of that, put the lid on, and you're good for 4.5, 5 hours. Yes, I can hear it sizzling now. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the meat. Some people do theirs in batches. I'm not. Because I'm not really, you know, doing a stir fry, or I'm not making meat for a fried rice or anything. I'm just making a stew where everything's all put in one big pot. So I'm not going to be too fussy. The whole point of a slow cooker is that it cooks slow and even and easy, and it's easy peasy. It's not supposed to be hard or difficult. You put the stuff in, and at the end of your work day, you have a beautiful meal. And usually you can cook, you know, smell it cooking all day long. So by the time it's ready, people are good and hungry in your home. We'll let that brown a bit. This is what it looks like in the pan. Oh yeah, it's already browning on one side. You can see what I mean. See the brown on that piece? It browns quite quickly. Look at this. And I'm going to turn it down a bit to see how it sears it on one side. That's what you're looking for. And it'll seal all that goodness in there. Okay, I have my meat put in here now, and I have 1 3/4 cups of broth. And also you want to put in some tomato paste. I'm using about 1/3 cup, and that will bring you know, the tomato and acidity to the dish that it needs for everything to come together. Okay, and you can just, you know, stir it in there in the stock and the meat. And now, at this time, I'll put in my onion, potatoes, and carrots. And since we have fluid in here now, I can go ahead and turn it on. And I'm going to be putting it on high because I started late in the day. It is already 2:30. So, which we don't usually eat till about 7 o'clock or so at night anyway. But, yep, that is going to be a really good beef stew. And, you know, my kids, sometimes they like it over rice. And I'll probably make, you know, I'll make biscuits to go with it probably. And let's see. I don't know what I do with. Oh, I want to show you something. Hang on one second. Okay, so you can also add fresh parsley and stuff like this to the dish. You don't put it in so early that it just gets, you know, dissipates and pulverizes and gets lost in the dish. Wait a little while, and then when you put it in, it'll still remain, you know, nice and green and vibrant. But if you're a person that works or works at home and you don't have time for all this, do this, do that, you can just use this. I did pick this up at a store not too long ago. Slow cooker hearty beef stew. And this is like, I have a sister that works at home and she doesn't have time to fuss too much in the kitchen because her job is just demanding. And this would be perfect for her. And the McCormick brand is a really good brand. So there are alternatives, that you can turn to. Or if you just live alone and you don't keep all those abundance of spices on hand, you can use that slow cooker packet and it'll come out delicious. You'll still have a really nice meal. So I will make sure that I take a picture of this beautiful beef stew for you, and you will see that at the front of this video. And thank you for coming to visit me today and see how I make my beef stew. Have a great day. Bye-bye.